all the listeners of all the listeners of Health Education Lecture Series. I'm your host Gurdeep Singh Sandhu, homeopathic consultant. My clinic address is 9701 Sarah and Court, Dublin, California 94568. My phone number is 408-687-1899 and email address homeomedicine HOMEOMEDICINE @yahoo.com. So let's start the new lecture. As you know, we are passing through a channel of life systematically when how this life was created and how this life was running step by step, advancing in its age. And at this time, we are at a phase of when this child has entered into an adult age. Previously, we have discussed everything about when it was fertilized, how he spent a life in the mother's womb, about 280 days. And the same way, after coming out of mother's womb, he spent about 1 year as a uh, new life or newborn title was given to this one. And after that, he entered, after 1 year, he entered into the toddler's age. So toddler age was starting after 5 years of age, and after that, it was running up to the adolescence age. That adolescence age, we consider it up to 12 years of age. Normally, adolescence age is considered as if no man's land because this child is going to the schools or the colleges at this age and he is entering into a new society. Previously, he was under control of parents and he was guided by the parents as well. But at this time, and even more of the responsibilities were taken by the parents at that time. But now he is entering to a new society and also a new age group where he thinks himself as responsible for his duties, what he want to do, what he will do, or whatever the assigned duties in the schools and otherwise. But at this condition, one serious concern for all the parents and for all the children is that the parents becomes carefree, that now my child is grown up and he is responsible, sufficient responsible for his duties, what he has to do, and he is competent to do all those duties. Therefore, therefore we consider it that yes, let him go, let him do his own duties, let him do his own task, whatever it is. But at this time, the parents must not forget that he is entering into a new society, and you do not know about that one, what type of society he will be entering into, and what that society. Previously, you were guiding him. Previously, you were guiding him and you were instructing him for all the things, whatever were concerned with his life, with his body, and even after, according to the thinkings. Whereas now he is entering into the new society and you are carefree, you are backing up. And when you are backing up from him, that you are not guiding him, that you are not taking his actual role at that time, because my son is competent to do all the things and I do not need to interfere in his life. Under these conditions, he entered into a new society, and when he enters into a new society, you do not know that what kind of teaching the society will intervene into? What kind of feelings, or what kind of instructions the society will give him? Because this a vacant space, this a vacant at this time, mentally, and free from the parents' sides. And in this condition, sometimes if he met a bad type of society, that becomes very difficult, furthermore for him and also for the parents as well. Therefore, we always instructed the parents at this age that you are not to be backup. You should remain attentive and you should remain watchful for your children, even if they are going to the school or colleges. And if you are carefree, definitely he will be entertained by the other society, and that society, if it is not acceptable in your society, then it will create a difficult problem for you and tension in your family as well as in your relations. Because regularly he is in touch with the new society, and you are absent from there. And ultimately, many of the things at this age happens that he is under control of the hormones. The hormones are developing, and when the hormones are developing in a fast stage, they create a different kind of a mentality. They create a different kind of well-being, or you can say carefree type of mind, especially the carefree type of minds. And he also becomes carefree from the parents as well. But when that society, the new society, whatever it invades in his mind, starts working in his mind, and he starts working according to the new society, at that condition, it becomes very difficult to parents to match with all that or to accept all that according to their society. And that created tension. That created tension between the parents and the students and their kids. This is what going on nowadays in this society, that we have already guided to the parents that you should not be carefree even at the time when the kids are going to school as well as to the colleges. No doubt, you are giving him freedom to study. You are giving him freedom to choose his future destinations, but you should remain as a guidance to him. You should remain in touch with him. If ever he feels any problems at any time, he should discuss all those things frankly with you, so that you can guide him properly. And also, the main thing is that you will remain in touch with his future life as well, that what he's going to do and what he will become to do. And if ever in a case, everybody is not a successful person in his life. There are failures. There are failures in their lives, and ultimately, if the failures comes and you are not in touch with him, ultimately it may create a problem for him as well as relatively, because you are the parents. You will have to share that unsuccessful life of your kids. That feels a great problem. That feels a tension in the mind of the parents, that if their children are not successful in any way. Therefore, we have advised to the parents in our previous lectures, when the life was entering into the adolescence age, that not to back up. Remain in touch with the day-to-day life of your children, and also guide them whatever their society, the new society, even if the new society has guided him and he is doing according to that one. But you should have a proper logic. You should have a proper explanations of the things, so that you can convince your children and whatever is right and whatever is wrong, so that you can guide him properly, and he should be convinced. Ultimately, in his future life, he will be having a more higher IQ. And at that time, because day to day the science is increasing, and day to day the society is advancing in knowledge and in all other directions, and our knowledge as being parents, our knowledge is a back point for that one. So actually, that creates a big tension. If you one time back up from the duties, from guiding your children or remaining in touch with him, And after a gap, if you try to again regain the same position, it creates a problem for you, because their IQ is developing in a very fast speed, whereas you are having a fixed IQ at that time, at your own age. So that does not match with the IQ of your children, and it creates also a difference. It creates problems between the children and the parents, and that is why there is a tension in our society. And to combat that tension, we have already suggested to the society that continuously remain in touch with your children, continuously try to guide him, whatever possibly you know about the things what he is doing. You should acquire the knowledge what he is doing. He should think you as your best guide, even at this time when they are not having gone to those stages where you are going at that time. But even then they are your good guide and good well wishers, as compared to the other society which you are entering to. Yes, time to time, depending upon the environment and depending upon the problems, your society can guide you, but it is not sure, it's unsure that whether that society will guide you properly and in the right direction or not. Therefore, you must have a check and balance, and those check and balance should be done by the parents. And when this check and balance is done by the parents, always, always your son, your kids will feel safe himself, will feel that yes, no problem. If ever there be any problem, I can discuss with my parents freely, and they will guide me what is the best for me, or they are the best suggestion giving to me in this world. So these are the things which we have discussed in our last lecture, when we were passing through the adolescence age of the children, that what are the duties of the parents altogether from very beginning. Though your child is becoming independent, though your child is becoming relatively sufficient for his duties and competent for his duties, then even then you should keep watch on that, so that he should feel that some super helping power is on me, and if ever I did any mistakes, they will be able to correct that, and he should have a faith on that one. And when the parents and children lose faith of each other, at that condition, it becomes very difficult for them both to come together and to get advices or to use their advices. So that is why we have given this lecture to the parents, that you all should be all time should connected with your children, so that you be happy as a parents, and your kids will be happy that they are your kids, and you are the actually guide for them in their life. Though your field may be different from the parents, it happens sometimes. The children select the field which is different from the parents, and in this way, though the parents do not know about their field, but even then they are the judge of the society, they are the judge of the age. As per their age, they have passed many hurdles in their lives, and they have already solved. Even if they have not solved the hurdles, they have learned the lesson from that one, and that experience will be useful for their developing kids. Therefore, even if you are not, as a parents, you are not successful in some of the conditions in your life, but even then, that failures will be a task, will be a guide for your children. So you should discuss each and everything very freely and frankly with your children, so that they can learn from your successes, they can learn from your failures, so that they can make a judgment, a real judgment, and the safe judgment for their life to go furthermore. So these were the conditions we have guided to the parents in their adult, when the children were at the toddler's age, because many of the things were concerned with this normal curriculum, but many of the things were beyond your limit. Some of the things are coming up by nature, because These are all things outwardly, how the society is doing, how you have to maintain yourself in that society, and all these things you have to learn time to time, and even some of the guides the parents will guide you. But the hormonal thing which abrupts at this time, which is accelerated at this time in each children's, every children has to, even if she is a male, or he's a male, or she is a female, even then they are having a different hormones productions in their life, in their body at that times, and that guide them, even not guide them, they force them, to do something which sometimes is not acceptable by the society, which sometimes the parents cannot think, that they think it's a before time. Because yesterday I discussed with you pre-puberty syndrome. If anything comes in a norm, if anything comes age by age, sometimes it is acceptable, very easily acceptable, and we think that this is a normal phase. If a boy is at the age of 18, 19, and we think that he's competent to do things, and now he's having whatever the problems or whatever he's doing is because of the hormone things are developing in his body, then we accept and we try to resolve that issue by his marriage, so that girls and boys, whatever it is, we should get him a marriage, and most of the things are resolved in this way. Though most of the parents they get married their children's, but they do not know the internal phase, why we are doing this one, why we are doing this thing, we're getting their children's married, because they just think it's the rule of the society and we are doing that. But no, it's not. It is all because to maintain the internal development in her body and in his body as well. Because hormones, when they are developed at a fast rate at the age of adolescence age, at that time, or even if it's a pre-puberty symptoms, it is a pre-puberty symptom, means all these things, all these changes which should come up at the younghood are coming up in the early stage of younghood. At that time, something, these things are not acceptable. These things are not acceptable for those parents who do not know about the puberty or pre-puberty symptoms. And ultimately it creates problems. It creates problems through the society as well as and also to the parents, if they are ignorant about the functions of the hormones inside the body, and for the development of the mental faculties, the physical faculties, because of these hormones. Therefore we guided them that these are the signs and symptoms. What are the signs and symptoms of puberty? We must know. In a child, we have discussed previously, in a male child, there is a change of physical structures, less fat, more muscles. In girls, we have discussed about more fat and softness. And after that, the deposition of the fats on various places, on the face, on the breast, on the hips, and all that we have discussed that. And the change of voice, there is a change of voice in the females and the change of voice in the male. The female voice becomes more soft, and the male voice becomes more hard. In this way, it's not that soft according to the girls. In this way, we can just judge that these are the changes which comes normally during puberty periods. But if these changes are under some circumstances, because of change of environment, because of change of the society, because of change of the diet and everything, sometimes these changes may come early in any life, in anybody, maybe girls or boys. And parents, as a parents, they should be aware of all these things. That's why we were giving these lectures to the parents repeatedly, that they should be aware of the changes which occurs in a male or female body at the time of adolescence age, because that may come, it's not by the years, you can say. I'm talking about the when it breaks the pattern of these years. That yes, a girl at the age of 10 to 12 years should menstruate. A boy at the age of 10 to 12 years should have semen or spermatozoas productions, all that. But a child at that age, both of them has different characteristic of their voice, and also the different feeling. That feeling is the attraction towards the opposite sex. These are the normal things. These are the normal things. But I'm telling you, these changes, in case if in anybody, because of the environment, because of the society, because of the food, comes early in any case. Just like many times I told you, the girls in eastern countries, eastern side of the globe, they menstruate early, and their menopause come also early as compared to the western countries. In the western countries, the menstruates period is not this that period which is in the eastern countries. Just like sometimes the girls do not menstruate even up to the age of 12, 13, 14 years of age. But if it is later than 14, something there is wrong. And if it's early than 10 years, it's something pre-puberty syndromes. The same thing, all the changes, if these changes are occurring in a male child, definitely these changes are the pre-puberty syndromes. I want to convey you that these puberty syndromes can happen both in male and in females. In both male and females, when they happen, and all the parents, those who are the parents of the male and female children, they must know about all these things. And if ever these things happens, and your children, your kids behave according to that, because the hormones changes their behaviors. A girl's having menstruations, a girl's having all other feminine characteristics developed even at the age of 10 or early than that, you must know that. And they behave according to that one. You know that. What is the behaviors? What is the behavior? The sexual behavior develops. And also in the male, mouse teachers and the beards, they also develop. And the acne, pimples, and all that, with the excess of the hormones they develop on the body. All these things happens, and they may happen early than the normal prescribed age in any area. Area means, as I told you, in the eastern side of the globe, menstruate early. In the western side of girls, they menstruate late. And the same way, their menopausal stage is also, the menopausal age is also long enough than the normal age. The normal age is considered at about 40, 42 years of age in a females. But if it's more than that, or if it's less than that, that depends upon the environment, that depends upon the society, that depends on the diet, and all these things changes their patterns as well in any individuals. But as an environment, or as a you can say the just north or south pole, or north or western countries, these changes are due to the overall global changes. So the parents, wherever they are, they must understand all these things if these conditions are occurring before time. And you should be competent for that, to understand all the conditions time to time, what my child is going through, and how we have to guide them for those things, so that he should not be disturbed, or he should not be demoralized because of all these changes are occurring. And sometimes he's out of control because of the hormones, and he cannot control that, and he feels ashamed sometimes after that the phase has gone. Just like the masturbation I have told you, even in the both sexes. But they feel ashamed about that one. But that's not the thing that to be ashamed, because that's a normal thing, normal phenomena that comes from inside of the child. When the hormones are developing, the testosterone hormone and the estrogen hormone and the progesterone hormones, they develop this type of mentality, and they do. And if they do not do that, sometimes there is a there's a condition of the nightfalls and nightmares and wet dreams and all these, whatever you are considering. These things can happen in life of any children, and these are not, do not go to the doctors to get advices, and do not take any medications for that one. That's the normal thing. That's the normal thing, is indicating you that your child is under pre-puberty syndrome. If ever, if ever you can manage them according to the society, what the society does, we get the marriage. We get the marriage of children, and ultimately, have you ever heard about any married couple is having any nightfall or anything like that? Well, no, they're not. And any married couple is having pimples, acne, and all these things? No, not, because those things were used mentally and physically by their normal route and discharged. But those who are not married yet, who are at the pre-puberty syndrome and they're not at the age of normal marriage age, but listen, the nature has already certified that anybody, when there is a pre-puberty syndrome, it indicates that the nature has already certified this body for the actually purpose of this life. The purpose of this life is to regenerate life, recreate life from life. All other professions, all other things what we are doing in our life are the accessory or the helping tools, you consider the helping professions, so that this life can go on normally and spend their life normally, and recreate life time to time. This is our duty. Main duty is this one. The all other things, but we are now backing up from this thing, and we are more attracted to the other allied professions and allied type of duties in the life. So here we are talking about that if ever any child, girl or boy, is having this kind of conditions, that he indicates physically or mentally the pre-puberty syndromes, at that time parents should not abuse him. Parents should not feel ashamed himself, or should not suppress the feelings of your children so that they feel ashamed about that one. Because it's a normal thing, and it is not your control, it's control of the nature, it's control of the physics of the body. So you have to respect that. When at the age of marriage you get your children married, and ultimately everything is used in a other route, discharged in other route, and then there's no problem, no change in the physical, no change in the mental states happens, and we go with the normal things. Why not we can do it before that one? Because you think our society has limitized the age. Oh, a child can get married when the girl is 18 years old. A child can get married when the boy is at 21 years old. These are the norms fixed off by the society, and it is not necessary that the society will follow the nature. Nature has its own pattern, and according to that, we have to run our life. Not that whatever the society has maintained, the norms, rules of the society, the nature will go according to you. No, it's not possible. It's not possible. So therefore, according to the nature's rule, sometimes this pre-puberty syndromes comes early. So this is what we have discussed in our previous lecture, and we guided the parents so that they should be aware of all these things. If ever it happens in their children's life, they should be strictly know all these things, and should work to resolve all these issues as far as possible according to the normal channels. And even do not abuse, do not suppress the feelings of your children. Otherwise it will create big problems in their lives. And I told yesterday about the hysteria and schizophrenias. All these things can happen in the life of the children, that create more problems. Ultimately, illusions, hallucinations, and many other things can, well, if you cannot maintain all these things, if you can get the children married and adopted a normal society rules to discharge all these things, then ultimately child may become hysteric child may become schizophrenics and can create problem for you. And that condition is that it is out of control. It is not in your controls unless you know the causes, unless you resolve the causes. And if you resolve the causes, definitely all these things will go off in a normal way, because it's in nature's productions, and nature has how to resolve this thing. Nature knows about this thing, how to resolve all these things, and when the underlying causes are resolved, automatically this thing will not come up. So now, after that, we have entered a phase of life which is known as adult age. Now, this adolescence age is entering into the adult age. And in this adult age, we are still having some points to discuss with the parents, because mainly child is growing, he is adopting, he's dull minded. One is society is guiding him, new society, one is parents are guiding. Sometimes they do not match with each other's thinkings. That create problems. And even in the society, there are many things which we need to discuss with the children, growing children, when they are attaining a adult age, so that there should be a borderline relation to maintain the relationship between the sons and daughters, and with the parents, so that the boundaries are fixed for the guidance, for the interactions, for the questionings, or for helping. All these things, the boundaries are fixed for the growing children when they are attaining adult age, so that we can run our family in a smoother way. And also, your child can develop peacefully in their further life and can go in advancement with their new society, because he is having a set pattern in his mind, and he is having a faith that their parents are at back of him. They will guide him. They will suggest the best thing what he can do. They can do for their kids. So if they are having interrelation between each other, definitely this thing will happen. So now there are still at this age, when your child is entering into an adult age, there are still points to discuss with the parents. And we are discussing all those. So the first thing which you should maintain, that first of all, you are entering in the life of your children, and each and every step, though it was for the betterment, of your children, but even then you were entering into that, and the children were accepting that. At that time, children were accepting that because they were not competent. They were thinking that they are not competent for the lives, and our parents are guiding us. They accept this thing at that time. But now they are entering into society where they feel that yes, they are competent now, they are responsible now, and sometimes the guidance of the parents may not be sufficient, whatever they need at that time. So in this way, if the parents continue guiding, continue intervening in all his functions, definitely it will annoy your children. And what is suggested then? The suggestion is that you should embrace the independence of your children when they are attaining adult age. Means after 18 years of age, approximately, this is mentioned. Maybe a little earlier, maybe even sometimes the children becomes more responsible on all the directions before 18 years of age. But normal, we are considering the 18 years of age for the girls, or 21 years of age for the boys. We should embrace the independence of their life, not to interfere. It means not to interfere in their life at every step. Just watch. Just watch. And if ever he needs your guidance, yes, give him guidance. Discuss with him. Because he's in a routine, he's in a habit to discuss everything. He's in a habit that my parents are guiding me in my previous life, everything. But there is a borderline. There's a borderline that they are now adult. And if they are now adults, it means they are having something which they can decide, something which they want to decide himself. Parents had decided in their life according to their wishes or according to their parents' wishes, but now he's entering that he needs something independence to decide for some of the things related to his life. And therefore, parents are now advised they can watch, they can watch, they can supervene if ever possible. Otherwise, do not unnecessarily interfere in the life of the children. Just embrace their independence when they are entering into the life of 18 to 21 years of age, girls and females, male children. So, you should embrace the independence of your kids when they are entering into the adult age. Then, what you do? You just act as a consultant. First of all, you are the guide. Student or your kids do not know things, and you are guiding everything. Just like the guide when you go for any area, and the guide of that area guides you and tell you everything because you do not know about that. The same thing. You are not knowing about the society. You are not knowing about the life and patterns and dealing with the other people. And the parents were guiding you at that time. But now it's the time that they are becoming independent and they are attaining the age of adulthood. And at that time, it is advised that act as a consultant, embrace their independence, act as a consultant means we go to the consultant when we need it. Not always. The consultant comes and, oh, I want to guide you. No, it's not. It's not. So what happens? It happens that when we consult the consultants, when we think we need it, and we consult the consultants. And listen more and advise less. Sometimes because we are in the habit that to interfere in for everything, to guide for everything, to instruct for everything, because it was a routine. It was a routine that he's my child, and he's always my child. Definitely, he's your child, but now he's entering into adult age, and if he's entering into adult age, definitely he has something new, learning from the society. He may have different profession than you. He have different thoughts than you. May you be failure in your life, may you be successful in your life, but it is his part to choose out of that one what way he is to go. In this way, you should act as a consultant if he wants to consult you. And in this way, listen more if ever he says something to you. If he discuss with you, advise less. Let him make the independent decision maker. Let him be the independent decision maker at the age when he is entering into an adult age. And no doubt, sometimes you might have failures in your life, face the failures or face the successfulness. You have the experience. But at this time, the best guide, the best teacher for everyone of the world is considered the failures. And going over, watching your failures. What was the reasons of your failures, so that you can eradicate those reasons in the next life. The best guide, the best teacher of everyone is the failure, or watching their failures. In this way, you are advised to listen more, advise less. What he want to do in his life, what he is thinking about that one, you should listen him. His decisions may be more better than you. Though you are a successful man in your life, but even then, he's your child and he may have something successful, something more better than your life. Under those conditions, you should listen him and advise less. Advise only when he thinks. What you think, dad? What you think, mom? What should be? Then you can give your opinions. Otherwise, otherwise, whatever he said, he is saying in front of you. Just listen that and advise less. It is it is always advised. It is always advised when your child is entering into an adult age, you have to maintain the boundaries. Okay. Always, just like you can say in our life, parents were open to come in your room. Every time they need not to knock it and ask you about that one. When you are children's, when you are young children's, parents are allowed to enter in your life all the times. They are liable to question you all the times about your life, about your good life or your bad lives, about your failures and everything. Whatever you're doing in your life, they are entitled to interfere in that one, because at that age is not competent age that you can make your independent decisions. But here we are talking about the age when a child is becoming adult. At that time, you have to maintain your boundaries, not to interfere in the life of the children always. Let him make the decisions, and let him, if ever he wants your opinion, listen him and give your opinions. Do not press upon your opinions. Do let him decide, because he might have get some information from their society, from their friends, from their equal level friends, and also he is getting information from you at that time. Sometimes your decision may not be good for him, and the decision of their friends and their colleagues may be more better, because they understand the present situations, you do not. In this way, you have to maintain the boundaries of relations with your grandchildren's, grown up children's, not grandchildren's, grown up children's, and set the boundaries about that one. And that boundaries should be listen more, advise less. In this way, one more thing comes. When you are not doing things according to me, when you are not doing things according to me, it means you are not dependent on me. For all your financial needs, you are responsible. For all your acts, even after 12 years of age, the court also thinks that he is responsible for all the sin he does, and he is responsible for all the punishment for that one. In this way, here we are just talking about the society that clarify, even he is not still set up, fully set up in his life. He needs your financial help. You have to give him financial helps. And in that financial helps, set up the boundaries. First of all, you are thinking what my child needs. He needs bike, he needs motorcycle, he needs whatever he needs, you provide him. Yes, sometimes he may suggest, he may ask for, I need this thing, and you, according to your financial things, you do that. But here, now you fix the financials for him, that this is what I can help you per month or every day to day life. But you have to think for this money how to use it, how to use it, and Let him maintain his financials, that he is having this monthly pocket money and how he has to maintain his life with this monthly pocket money. Let him do that. Let him learn him. Yes, give him financial help. Though he is in adult age, give him financial help, and do not interfere how he use the finances. Just guide him and be prepared for their space in family. Now, first of all, the father or the mother was pressurizing his ideas in the society, in the families. But now, give him a space. Now he is a grown up child, girl or boys. He is grown up child. Give him space. Listen his advices and think on that one, because he is the young man of the modern era. You are of the past, and now this world is advancing very fast. So therefore, when your children are growing up at the adult age, please give him a space in your family, and so that give thoughts to his ideas, think over that, and as far as possible, try to adopt him. And if ever in case you cannot adopt those things, please do not be annoyed. Try to convince him by your ideas, if it's wrong or right, but do not pressurize for the ideas of his life. Do not pressurize for the ideas of his life, whether you are parents. But even then, when he is in the adult age, let him decide about his life. But you watch that. And it does not mean that if you are letting him free for the decisions of his life, you will not help him. You have to help, because he is not still competent for his financials. Main thing is the financials. You have to help him for the financials. Communications. Your communication with your son, with your daughter, should be at another level. Everything you are pressing upon, everything you are pressing upon him in his previous life. But now you have to communicate with your daughter, with your son, not to press upon your ideas, just to convey your ideas. Discuss patiently. If ever it's a common interest of the family, discuss it patiently, but listen him, and let him face the failure, let him face the mistakes, and let him correct the way, help him to correct the ways, but do not take financial responsibility at this time. Give him help financials, whatever you are giving him help financials. If he lose that, let him face the consequences. Then he will learn that whatever I'm getting from the parents, I'm getting that, but I used in a wrong way, and face the failures. At that time, the only thing is that not to face the failure, you have to adjust the budget. How to make the budget? How to adjust these financial things? Day to day, it is increasing. Day to day, your demands are increasing. And according to that, parents are liable to support you according to their own means, whatever their, if they're rich families and everything, that's a different story. But in the normal families, they are having their own limited means to support you financially, and you have to think that how you have to maintain your budget. It's for the kids, that you are growing grown up child, and the parents are just to watch. Even if you do failures in your life, then you have to listen the lesson, so that you will not do this thing again, and will become competent in your futures. After that, allow to make their own decisions. Allow, if they make mistakes, to learn from the mistakes, so that it's known as that the failure is the best teacher. Failure is the best experience. When you fail, you learn. But ultimately, morally, the parents should be at back of him, so that, okay, you did this mistake, you should realize this one, you did the mistakes, but ultimately, okay, I'm here to help you, but try not to make these type of mistakes again. Try not to make these type of mistakes again. This is what your duty is at this time, when your child is entering into an era, adulthood. Responsibility of finance, budgeting finance, and limiting their grievances, limiting their demands, and all that, so that you can budget your financials according to that. He should learn it. If ever in rich families, sometimes you provide financials whatever he needs, and ultimately he is a failure in his life. Ultimately, he will spoil your money as well as he will spoil his life himself as well. So, therefore, it is advised that check always what your financials are, what financial support you are giving to him. Check and balance, so that child should have in mind that my parents are providing me the financial helps, and it is my duty to use these financials in a right way for the right demands. And long term financials, getting independence from your financials, what he can do, let him do that. Just like students, your kids, even they are adult at this time. Even then, they are going to college, university, and all that. Even then, they should learn, because parents has their limited liabilities, the limited financial to support him. And what about the other financials? They are to create their finance himself, side by side with their study and all that. And he should learn that, because knowing that my father's responsibility, my parents' responsibility, and my parents' financials are this much, and to their sufficient, they are supporting us. And after that, if your liabilities are increasing, if your financials are increasing at that time, expenses are increasing basically, then it is your duty to increase your financials, so that you can maintain your increasing day to day demand, day to day expenses. So this is what he should learn it. Parents' duty is to encourage your children, not to help, but encourage your children to make decisions, to make judgments. Do not press your judgments on him at this time. The time has gone when you are doing your duty and you are judging and you are revising him everything, and you are forcing him, even you are forcing him to do the things according to parents. But at this time, back up from that one. Do not judge because of him. Let him judge what to do, how to do. Let him do that decision, and make a courage to self judgment and self decision, so that he can become decision maker in life. Otherwise, he will be, if he will depend always on your decision, then he will be indecisive, indecisive in his life, and always his finance will be in deficit. But when he will make the judgments, he will make the decisions, and he knows his financials, ultimately he will face the failure one time, and ultimately he will learn that one. Do not interfere in that. Next, do not solve his problems. Let him solve his problem, because you are providing him the financial help and you have declared that this is what from my financials I can help you time to time, month to month. This is what my pocket allow you to help that one. And then now you have to solve your problems. If it's increasing finance, if it's increasing problems, if it's in increasing expenses, it's your duty to maintain that one. Okay, so let him learn that. It means instead of solving, because all problems are solved by the financials, by the monies. Instead of financing his problems, let him solve his problem by himself, so that he can learn budgeting, he can learn the financials comparable to your increasing demands. What your duty is then? Your duty is to support their well being. He should be healthy always. If ever there be any physical or any other this kind of conditions, you should help him, support him for his well-being, mental and physical, both way. He should be mentally not depressed. If there is the condition, you have to guide him properly and boost him morally. Advise him to try to learn under their budgeting, under their financials, whatever their financials are. Try to, because failures and sadness comes when their financials are less and their expenses are more. They are depressed. So first of all, let him face that one, but guide him in this way that mentally and physically he should be healthy. That is your responsibility still. Still you are responsible that he should be healthy mentally and physically. And last of all, if you want to help him in a financial way, yes, you have a limited financials and you are helping him continuously. But now at this stage, whatever their problem, increasing problems, not routine problems, increasing problems, because those he has increased with his wrong thinking, with his wrong in demand and all that. Let him maintain that. Do not interfere in that one. Let him maintain his finances. And after that, celebrate his success. If he is a successful man, if he is a competent in his life, if he is doing all the things in a normal way and developing day to day in his life and businesses, then celebrate, appreciate him, whatever he is doing, so that he should have morally gained the power to do the things in a more efficient way and more successful way. So today our lecture is over. This is Gurdeep Singh Sandhu, your homeopathic consultant. My clinic address is 9701 Sarah and Court, Dublin, California 94568. My phone number is 408 687 1899. Anytime. If ever you want to discuss anything about your health, please call me at 408 687 1899. If ever you want to get treated as homeopathic treatment, the scientific approach of your health, yes, call me at 408 687 1899. ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਰੱਬ ਰੱਖਾ. God bless you all. We'll see you tomorrow, and tomorrow our lecture will be Punjabi. In Punjabi, all the things I will again tell you. Those who cannot understand in English, they can understand in Punjabi or Hindi. So tomorrow our lecture will be in Punjabi, what to do, what not to do. Thank you.